I should. Ooh, gotta turn this off. Testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. I think I am live. I'm live. Let's do it. Hello, hello, hello. Who is out there? Who is out there for this live Q&A that I barely promoted? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, Daryl. But I'm glad that some of you are joining me. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. This fine April 2021. Anyway, yeah, here I am. I just got done doing a couple of shoots this past week for Treasure Island, and they went relatively well. I got a lot of really good scenes. How you doing, guys, on Instagram? All two of you. Thank you so much for joining. I didn't do a lot of promotion for tonight. How you doing, Joey? But here I am. If you guys have any questions, by all means, you're more than welcome to ask. As I said, I was going to do these every first week of the month or first Monday of the month. So I'm all yours. Go ahead and ask any questions. Oh, thank you very much, Kenneth 12. I appreciate that. How you doing, August? Good to see you. Oh, look at that. Okay, I can do this. So we have, I think we have August Allen. Oh, hello. How are you, sir?
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining today.
Yeah, of course. My service is kind of bad. I'm like out in the boondocks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm filming for Noir right now.
Oh, okay, cool. You are,
Look at this view. Look at this view. Hold on.
You're walking me to there. For those of you on YouTube, August Alexander has joined and is showing us the view from the Normail film shoot he's at. Oh, that's absolutely gorgeous.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, you're the ambassador this month, right?
I am.
Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah? How is the shoot going so far?
I love it. I haven't started shooting yet. My shoot is second.
Your shoot is what?
My shoot is second, so I'm just at the house waiting.
Oh, okay. All right. Is it today?
Yeah, today and tomorrow.
Very, very nice. All right. Having a little sig break. Where are you on location?
I am in Newberry Park, California.
Okay. Very, very nice.
So Thousand Oaks, and then 40 miles past that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's quite the commute. Is that Jason? Holy shit.
Jason Zhu, how you doing?
Hi, baby. I did a shoot with him. I miss him. Hi, baby. Hi, dog.
I'm still recuperating from your podcast with the Dirty Talk guy. Yes, me too, Joey. That was great. Mateo Papichulo, thank you so much for that call out. Yeah. How was August? How was your shoot? We just shot for Treasure Island. How did you feel our shoots went?
We just did a scene. It was fantastic.
Cool.
It's always a pleasure working with you.
Likewise.
We banged it out. Literally, it was a really good, quick shoot.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we got a good amount of content.
Shout out to my scene partner, Butternut and Ryan Powers.
Yeah, and you will be on the podcast. Not this week, but the following week.
Okay,
so that'll be cool. Awesome. Yeah. I got an interview with you, and Very insightful.
Yeah, we got candid, talked some stuff.
We always get candid, don't we?
We do. All right, I got to jump off today.
Okay, thank you so much for joining. That's awesome.
Yeah, of course, always, anytime.
Love. Have a good shoot. August Alexander just joined us via Instagram. So yeah. Oh, thank you very much. This is fun. Daryl, am I an actor? You look like a movie star. I appreciate that. I absolutely do, but I'm not. I'm a behind the scenes. I'm a workhorse, not a show horse. Great job on all your interviews. Thank you very much, because we do go and when finding them, like they're very organic. We set up templates of what we're going to ask or what we're going to talk about, but then from there we kind of just spit at each other, and what comes up comes up. So Daryl, you ask, why is it when people mention the word gay, it always goes to sex? I don't know. Do you find that happening? I mean, I guess I know what you're saying. Like, I think that people just think gay is synonymous with sex or sexuality. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It just means we're a little more fun. Victor says, loved your interview with Levy Fox. I learned that because I made the mistake of calling him Levi, because I just, you get used to seeing L-E-V and you just assume, okay, Levi. It's actually Levy Fox. Yeah, he's a great guy. Just met him, and we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of really, really good shoots, and then we did that, of course, the podcast, which was really, really cool. So yeah. So ask away. I'm here. Any kind of questions you have, by all means. If I can answer them, or if I have an answer for them, I will. Other than that, I guess we can play some music. Does anybody want to hear some music? I was thinking about that. I don't know if YouTube's going to allow me to play music in the background or anything, but I was like, why not? Let's give it a shot. That way I'm not sitting here in silence when there's only 3 people. Joey DeFalco asks, how many times have you accidentally been the target of a cum shot? I have been hit by cum shots, I would say 3 to 4 times in my adult career. One time was very interesting. It was Shane Frost, and this was like 2013. We did a shoot with him, Saxon West, and Armand Rizzo. And he actually, I was standing behind him, and when he was jerking off the cum, he kind of like flicked it all over the place, and it fell on my eye. And I, of course, was having a heart attack because I was like, oh, nothing like that's ever happened before. I didn't know. I was very I guess I was very naive about like STIs and stuff like that. Nevertheless, everything was fine. But yeah, I've been hit in the eye, not falling down on me, but actually falling up on me. I have been hit with it falling down as well. So yeah, that was fun. Let's see. I'll put this on the background. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but playing a little Alexis Jordan happiness, because why not? Let's see. I got a couple of questions over here. Damien Wadati asks, so why do you think OnlyFans, parentheses, adult content creators in general, will destroy studio porn? Why do I think that? I don't know if it's necessarily just going to be OnlyFans, or I don't think it's going to be one site in particular, but it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of what to compare it to, but I kind of feel like now that the door's been open and people are capable of making their own content and putting it up. You know, granted, XTube and Pornhub and all these companies were out there already, and people can post stuff. Amazon, yes, this is right. Amazon versus retail brick and mortar. Similar, but you know, studios like Treasure Island, Raw Fuck Club, Fuck Champ Robinson, like the studios. In comparison, I'm going to combine both of your questions here, but in comparison to Amazon and retail brick and mortar, there's gay porn studios that are kind of like, I'm trying to think of how to do this, but okay, let's talk like a camcorder or a camera that you would buy for a film shoot, right? Like if you're shooting a film, you an independent film, even you'd buy a camera that's like $15,000-$20,000. That's like gay porn in California, in my opinion. Studios that are a little more real in the sense, and by no judgment by that, what I mean is by a little more, they feel like a documentary, let's say. They are kind of like the prosumer cameras that you would buy. You spend like $1,200, $1,300, you get a really, really good camera, but it's still not like film quality camera. And then you have the $300 point and shoots and stuff. That's kind of like amateur porn. So studios like Raw Fuck Club, Treasure Island, all of the ones that I mentioned, really don't. I think those are going to be less affected, but I don't know. A lot of people don't really like studio porn, like and by that I mean models too, who work there and they have to be there for 2 days, and you know, the rate might be great, but you're on call. You're going to be there for it's a regular shoot day. You're going to be there for like 8 to 10 hours. Whereas certain fan sites, when you're making your own stuff, you can put everything together, and you know, you kind of set the rate. And I know I'm going all over the place, but I just, you know, I had to answer Joey as well. I don't think that OnlyFans necessarily will destroy studio porn. I just think that now that the power is more in the hands of the performer, I think that's part of what's going to happen. Is now people know that they can do stuff, and now you have performers who are just performers, or people who aren't even models, now going and producing their own stuff. They kind of know, like, they're going to hit some hiccups and stuff. Like, I know this 2257 thing's a big deal, but that's what you do. You have to cover your ass. You have to collect paperwork. You have to make sure that people have signed off. But you know, there are hiccups that they'll hit along the way. But now there is a standard that you can go out and post stuff, and as long as you're really good, people don't have to go through the studio anymore. They can just find it online on an OnlyFans site and stuff. I think it's a nice amateur step to what can come next. Mateo Papichulo asks, where are you shooting new content? Is it OnlyFans, Treasure Island? Please, where? I don't have an OnlyFans page, and I'm currently only working for Treasure Island, so that's where you find my stuff. Thank you very much, Nicholas. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. What is the difference between Just for Fans and OnlyFans? Okay, so from what I gather, from experience that I have a friend who's a baker, and he's a famous baker, and well, was famous baker. He's not doing it anymore, but he had an OnlyFans page, and it was basically OnlyFans. I feel like was created very hastily, and I don't think it's done as well as it could be. I mean, I'm sure they're getting better now, but I think there was a better way to do something like that. But basically, OnlyFans was created for people who had something to offer, like you know, tutorials and stuff like that. And eventually, a lot of adult stars jumped on there, and it became a platform that predominantly makes its money from adult content at this point. Because I've been on OnlyFans recently, and they're starting to try and get other entertainers there. So I wouldn't be shocked if one day, I know it's cash cow right now, but I wouldn't be shocked if one day OnlyFans disappears for adult content and something else comes along. It's kind of like MySpace and Facebook. The Facebook of fan sites has not come out yet, and it will. And then all these other companies like OnlyFans and possibly Just for Fans. I don't know. Just for Fans is run by I don't know, some guy in Florida. I can't remember his name right now, but he that's more. I think that one's geared more towards. That one's geared more towards adult content because it's kind of copied OnlyFans' gist and done it just for adult content. So I can't remember his name. I know his name though. Levi Fox said he preferred studio porn, which I found interesting. Yeah, I mean, I prefer studio porn. By that I mean I prefer working for a studio. However, I'm game for, I appreciate everything that Treasure Island does. It doesn't feel like working for a studio when I work with Treasure Island, so that's always cool. Although they're run like a studio. You should have an interview with some amateur actors. It would be different take on the topic. William, I would love to. Dominic Ford, that's his name. Thank you, Victor. I would love to interview more amateur actors. I actually am talking to a couple of them. I guess my biggest mistake when it comes to interviewing amateur actors is I feel like I should probably interview people that have a lot of followers, but maybe I should just get them like fresh on OnlyFans or Just for Fans or something like that. But yeah, I keep forgetting too that I've just started posting stuff myself online, so my presence hasn't been that present like other producers and directors and stuff, so nobody really knows who I am. They might see the name and stuff, but I'm not one of these personalities that goes out and is constantly doing stuff. So yeah, I will. I'll interview some amateur actors. I'll have some of them on. 2257, is that a law? Yeah. 2257 is basically the paperwork that you would have to get the models to sign to prove their age during production. And you hold on to that paperwork. It's release forms and just, a lot of their personal information. And yeah, you hold on to that because of you want to be able to prove to the government and the FBI that they're over the age of 18 when shooting. So Damien asks, just looked up 2257. Do individuals on OnlyFans and Just for Fans have to collect that info as well? You're damn right they do. And I feel like that's something that was lost on the explanation. And that's another reason why I think OnlyFans wasn't made just for adult content. But yeah, you have to have all that info to protect yourself, because now every one of these models is an individual porn studio. Okay, so Mateo asks, you may already have answered this. Was there a model you were so hyped to work with, but once the opportunity came and shooting began, you regretted working with that model? That's a good question. I don't think that I have. I've always wanted to work with. Actually, no. The one model that I was able to work with was Rafael Carreras, and he was awesome. He still is. I have not worked with him in a minute, but he is. The other time. The last time I had, and this came later on in like at the end of my stint with Dark Alley, but I ended up working with this model, and it was me, Max Connor. Yeah, it was me and Max Connor, and Max Connor was the top, and we just had a really bad experience. And Max Connor stayed through the scene for me, and I appreciate that. But like, you hear so many good things about certain models, and then they show up, and yeah, if like it just doesn't work, it's such an awful feeling, because you kind of feel you don't want to call off the scene because everybody's expected to already make their scene right, and everybody just wants to have a good time, and then you get a model that kind of thinks they're bigger than everybody else. And I've done thousands of movies. I remember that was one of the quotes that he said, and I was just like, okay, man, just fucking learn how to bottom then. So yeah, so I've met a couple of people that I've been told I should work with, and ended up being pretty bad or pretty shitty models. What lube? Louis Mango asks. Louis 8 Mango. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but what lube do you use on set? They are always so clean. I honestly, we were using Sport Lube for a while. Rafa Club, when I was with them, were using Sport Lube, and Sport Lube kind of, it was kind of like a give and take. Like, they were giving us bottles, they were sponsoring us, and we would put them out there, and it's pretty good lube. They have both water-based and silicone-based. Treasure Island doesn't really sponsor any, or doesn't really show any lubes. They don't like doing that. And I've made the mistake. I'm sure if you see any of my scenes, there's definitely a lube bottle somewhere, and that's definitely been on me, because they really don't like showing lube bottles and giving them that promotion without anything. I don't think Paul Morris likes to promote anything, though. Actually, he's really cool. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Joey DeFalco, OnlyFans just cracked down on a ton of it. Yeah, I know, and left a lot of models without a home and without scenes and revenue. Nice, right? Okay, so Jasper Baker, have you thought about interviewing Jax Maxim from Normail? I have not, but I am always open to it. Always open to recommendations too. Let's see if I've had a conversation with him already. Okay, so here's something else. No, I have not, but I'd be more than willing to work. A lot of times the guys that I'm interviewing, I'm either going to be working with or have worked with and developed a rapport with. And that's how I basically started the podcast, was with the friendships that I've already created. And when I talk to new models, I'm either about to work with them or I've been a fan or something. And Jax Maxim, I have not. I think he's a West Coast model, but I will look him up and see if we can get that interview. I'm interviewing Romeo Davis in a week or so. He's pretty cool. He's psyched about that. And I think I'm going to probably get Drew Dixon to interview as well. Ooh, hold on. Did I? Okay, there we go. So yeah, so I will try Jax Maxim. I will hit him up and I'll do my due diligence on him and see what's going on. Damien, OMG, you're like a fountain of great info for us porn lovers. Thank you for listening. That's what I'm here for. Just ask whatever you want. Stephen N, what bottom surprised you with how big of a dick they could take? It's recent, but Levy Fox can take a big dick, man. Him, Armand Rizzo can take a big dick. I'm trying to think of who else. Nate Stetson, who I worked with recently. anybody that's worked with Esteban Orive, because I've seen that thing in person. He's fucking huge, and it's very, very interesting to see guys' response when they see it in person, because you see the length, but then you see the thickness, and it's like no joke. Like, okay, wait, can I do this? Yeah, it's really fucking thick, man. Nice guy too. Formosa Gogo Pogo, thank you. Love your show. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening and watching. I appreciate that. Louis 8 Mango asks, is there makeup for the guys, like to get ready, or do they just do it themselves? I haven't really worked with a lot of models who do wear makeup. I have worked with guys who wear makeup, and that's always interesting because some of it always ends up on the pillow or on a wall, depending on how hard the scene or how tough the scene ends up being. That's always interesting. That's when you find out who's wearing makeup and who's not. Gay Boy Zig. Do you know what Mr. Markey is doing these days? I follow him on Twitter, but his account is so silent. You will have to forgive me if I look up Mr. Markey gay porn Twitter. Let's see. Probably known by face. I don't know, and you're right, he is quiet. Yeah, I don't know him. I don't. Probably seen him in porn, but I have not worked with him before. Okay, so Louis Mango, what's more popular right now, trim pubes or all shaved? Oh, Alessio, right back at you. Oh, I got to talk to you. We got to put a scene together. You know which one I'm talking about. Next week. I'll contact you tomorrow. What's more popular right now, trim pubes or all shaved? I've seen a popularity or a growth in popularity for guys with like all natural pubes, like full on bush. That's something that's kind of really big right now. Randy Williams, do you have any tips for tops? And can porn lovers learn from porn? Absolutely. Any tips for tops? Stay hard. Stay hard and don't think you can fuck everything that you see in one day, and then expect to come on set and be kind of like semi-hard. That's the biggest job that you have, or the hardest job that you have, is to stay hard, be into the scene, and give us a good cum shot. That's all we ask for. I think the bottom too. And yes, porn lovers can learn from porn. Just, one of the best things you can do, honestly, is find a porn star that you love and watch their scenes and, yeah, try to move like them if you can. Randy Williams. Is the term creaming real? You're going to have to, I don't understand the question. You're going to have to elaborate that for me. Damien, what do you think about Caden Gray's "you equals fucking you"? His free porn video where he is positive and has condomless sex. I watched it and it was really good. I have not watched it yet. I will look it up and I'll watch it, and I can get back to you on that. Wait, let me see. Caden Gray. Let's see. Just hire him for a lesson. Okay. I'm looking for this video that you are telling me about. I have not seen it. But what is the premise of this? You said it's a free porn video where he is positive and has condomless sex. I don't yeah. I mean, there's a lot of positive and undetectable porn stars having sex. So I'm not sure I understand. Nicholas, don't you get aroused by watching so much porn and watching so much guys fucking like all day? Sometimes. It's very rare, but sometimes. Like the scene has to be really, really hot in order to kind of snap me out of what I'm doing. And that's basically what it comes down to. I'm not involved at all. Like I try not to be involved at all. My job is to kind of get the shots the way I have a hard time concentrating as it is, and getting the camera where it is with the microphone and the light and all that stuff. So if I was not paying attention to that and paying attention to these guys fucking on a sexual level, you guys wouldn't have a scene. so yeah, I probably have. I think I've mentioned this before. Probably like less than 10 times in my career, I've gotten hard on set watching the scenes. And you know what? I'll do a video on that. What scenes they were, because I think I remember which ones they were. So Black Sea Cam LA. I watch you on YouTube, but I forgot to follow you on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Sorry if this question was asked, but what is the most amount of cum shots you've seen a porn star produce in a day? Not in front of me, but I've heard of porn stars that come like 6 or 7 times a day. The most I've seen is probably 3 in front of me, like legit 3, like you can see stuff coming out. You always get that one porn star that's like, oh yeah, I came again, and you don't really see anything, but whatever. Like people really like that. So, bring back the bush. Yes, you're right. Except in office. Have you seen any models get cramps in the middle of filming? Louis 8 Mango. Yes, I have. A lot of really popular models too. A lot of daddies. I too have done porn. Cool. What kind of porn? Damien, it's on his Just for Fans for free. Okay. So the essence of Caden Gray film was using porn to inform the gay community. You equals you. Okay. Well then I think that's awesome. I'm on his page now. I just didn't know that it was meant for sex education. I think that's awesome. I think it's great. I think, if we had, this is a lot to ask, but if we had a lot of porn stars that were using it as education as well, that would be amazing. Joey DeFalco, how about best hands-free cum shot bottom? Who wins the prize? Fuck, I know this. I have to look back. Luca D'Amore, from memory right now, the last person that I had do a hands-free cum shot was Luca D'Amore, and it was his scene with Sebastian Velmont. And he basically just fucked the cum out of it. That was cool. Kept Secret XXX. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, okay, yeah. I debuted on the site back in 2019. Hey, let's talk. Maybe you can do something with me while I'm at Treasure Island. Okay, there we go. Who's next? Take a quick refreshment break. Nicholas Salazar asks, have you met Paul Morris? I have not met Paul Morris yet. I've spoken to him. I've had an argument with him, but we have not met face to face yet. Charming guy, like really, really cool. So yeah, go for a question over here. I'll wait to get back on you on that. Quick tidbit about what Treasure Island. Is there a difference between Treasure Island Media and Raw File Club? Yeah, there is. There's a big difference. Without Treasure Island, Raw File Club wouldn't exist. I don't want to sound like a dick, but without me, Raw File Club, well, Raw File Club would exist, but it would be very, very different. So, you know, whatever. But the biggest difference is Treasure Island. What I think Paul Morris is trying to do, and I'm not sure if this has come up in conversation yet, or if it's something this video that I've done and have not released yet. But basically, for everything that we are now, where we constantly say, you know, love is love and equality and no body shaming and stuff like that. Like Treasure Island was doing that way back when, and it took working there, I think, and eventually looking at their catalog for me to finally see it as that, as opposed to seeing it as what I thought it was. When I remember having to look at the Treasure Island website, like certain trailers with like 2020 peripheral because it was some of the stuff, you know, it wasn't really for me, and it still isn't. Like whatever, people are doing whatever they want to do, and that's fine. And that's what Treasure Island does, is it's documenting certain things. You know, that's why they have that movie called Slam that a lot of people have a problem with, and I mean, it's not my taste at all, but everybody has their opinion about stuff, and good for them for trying to, like, that was something that was going on. I don't think that glorifying drug use is amazing, but that particular director did something, and you know, whatever your opinion is about what that might be, it's pretty ballsy. But the idea of creating a studio that was predominantly bareback sex in the late 90s and early 2000s to include men who are HIV positive having sex with other men who are HIV positive, that was pretty groundbreaking. So I have a lot of respect for what he was trying to do then that is now accepted, that wasn't accepted then. How are the gay video awards? Louis 8 Mango, if I wasn't buzzed or drunk or on a plane, I'd be able to let you know. I went to the one in 2020 because it was the first time that bareback porn, no, actually 2019, I think, was the first time bareback porn studios were allowed to compete or enter into the award shows, or all of the award shows, because of the fact that well, quite frankly, because studios that work with the award shows are now making bareback porn. So it was one of the first ones I've gone to. So who knows? I mean, I had fun at certain parties, but that's about it. What's new kink on the porn horizon? Stephen, that is a good question. I think that new kink in what? Answer me this question. New kink in what kind of porn? That's like gay porn, straight porn. Give me, like, let's tighten that up a little bit, because kink is anywhere. Damien. So who gets paid better? Tops, bottoms, or verse? Well, I mean, I think that depends on studios, Damien. We pay all of our models the same rate. I've heard of bottoms getting paid more. I've heard of tops getting paid more. bottoms being treated better. I've heard of tops being treated better. But yeah, I think we just, there's a flat rate for all the models at Treasure Island, depending on the scene that they're doing. Randy Williams, creaming is a term used when a white substance is released from the anus due to the top stroking the bottom's prostate. Randy, I think that the only time I've seen creaming like that is when a top has come and it continues to fuck the bottom, and it creates like this creamy, that creamy look that the dick looks like it's covered in white foam. That's the only thing. That's the only time I've ever seen something that you refer to as creaming. Yeah. Nicholas, since everybody went bareback, nobody is talking about Tim as something special. Also, they are working with established porn stars. Like 10 years ago, that wasn't the case. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And once the season is done, once the second season of Demystifying Gay Porn is done, I'm concentrating on my YouTube videos, and there's a whole bunch of them done that'll keep you guys entertained while I shoot and I record season 3. And one of them is about barebacking in porn and the critique and hypocrisy when it comes to it. Basically what it comes down to. Once it started hurting people's pockets, then it became something where everybody started doing bareback porn. That, and also the science behind HIV medication. So I know that that's in there. However, certain producers and directors who said they would never shoot bareback are now shooting bareback. I think that's kind of bullshit. But who would you like to work with and why? Who would I like to work with and why? I guess I'm trying to think. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of models that I really do enjoy. They don't have to be necessarily the most popular models on Twitter or anything like that. They just have to have good personalities. Gay Boy Zig, I will get back to you on that. The reason why would probably be I want to start eventually making videos outside of Treasure Island that are a little more artistic. I would have to fund them myself, but they're a little more artistic, a little more arty-farty, or just thematic, if anything. I want to do that because there's a lot of pent up and frustrated artistic things that I want to do that would probably that would work well, like, projects that I'd like to do, but that would also work well with unsimulated sex. Have you ever, Joey DeFalco, have you ever film directed a straight scene? If not, would you? I would love to direct a straight scene. Yeah, no, I would love to work. I guess that can kind of piggyback with Gay Boy Zig, your question. I didn't think about that. I didn't think outside of gay porn, but I would love to direct straight porn scenes. That'd be fun. Just to see what it's like, like just yeah. That'd be quite interesting though. I'd have to stop myself from getting hard there. Oh, Victor, that's the beginning of it, but I'm talking about California studios. Him I expect it from. Oh, okay. So Joey, I said I would love to direct a straight scene. I have not, but I would love to. I would love to direct bisexual porn too. Yeah, why not? I'll direct all of it. Shit. Marco Polo, hi. Heading to bed for work, but love your content. Really nice to see you bringing humanity to the industry. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mark Parker, hey man, Mark Parker. Sounds very familiar. Yeah. I appreciate that, Marco. A lot of people, when I read some of the comments about how some of the models act outside of, when you hear them talk and stuff, whatever, man, they're just people. Just, yeah. And a lot of them do want to share. I have gotten a lot of rejections from models too, where they don't want the, they don't want certain aspects of their life to intersect or kind of be outside of or inside of the industry. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to, let's say, demystify gay porn. But I have many more that would love to sit down and talk and just, share what makes them who they are. Okay, so George, hey, do you know whatever happened to that porn star, Daddy Muggs? I don't. I'm sorry. Nicholas, what about porn with unmedicated tops spreading their seed? Would you take part on that? PD, I paid for such scene on OnlyFans, so not judging. Unmedicated, well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's definitely, if this unmedicated top was with another unmedicated top, that's technically called zero sorting, which a lot of studios have done. But a top that doesn't mention or tell you what their status is, that's not cool. I wouldn't work with somebody like that. Would you ever direct chub porn? That's so funny. I would love to. And why do you think major studios would ever, and do you think major studio would ever film chub or super chub porn? You know what, Mr. LMV, I think that it could happen. And you know what the funny thing is? I know that the money's there. It's just, I don't know if studios have researched that yet. And I think it's honestly an unconscious bias that we have as a country, because we need to, just like with the fashion industry and the movie industry, only certain things are pretty. So if it happens, it'll happen later rather than sooner. You should figure out a way to allow callers to call and call into the podcast and ask questions. Yeah, sure. Every time I listen, I have 1 million questions. See, okay, so Joey, I am going to start doing that eventually soon. Right now, a lot of the podcasts that I do are not live. The part of this Q&A, the live Q&A, is I want to start having at least one podcast that's live. And by that, I mean like microphones, and the audio quality is really, really good. You guys, on Instagram, on YouTube, I'm connected directly to the feed, and they hear everything that I'm hearing in my headset. And I just bought a whole bunch of new equipment that allows me to take phone calls, so that can happen soon. I'll pilot it with you. Look at you, Joey. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's see what's going on over here. Okay, so how can we tell when performers are enjoying a scene? Randy, who's Damien? I've heard you say that a couple times. Oh, okay, so okay, there we go. Damien is, I thought you were calling me Damien for some reason. Okay, so how can you tell when a performers are enjoying a scene? Can you tell the difference between someone faking it versus someone enjoying it? Absolutely. Absolutely. The minute, the way, yeah, I do have a Rode Podcaster Pro. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah, I can tell when somebody's enjoying it. The minute they walk in a room, you can tell whether or not they're there for the money or they're there to have sex. And yeah, you can totally tell. Ever slept with a gay porn star? Come on. Yeah. Not during, like, on set or anything like that, but you go out and you have a couple drinks afterwards, and you never know. never my intention. It was never my intention to go in there and be like, oh, hey, let's hook up. But shit happens when you have a couple of drinks or smoke. Have you done a big group or orgy scene? How do you film all that? Yeah, no, I've done a lot of big groups. Some of the more popular ones are the Gangbang Proposal, where Mason Lear and Brian Bonds got proposed, or Brian Bonds proposed to Mason Lear. I shot Fire Island Fuckboy, which that guy, I forgot what his name is. He changed his name to Ace Arborwood. He was on that show Fire Island though, and he wanted to get fucked by a whole bunch of guys, and Raw Fuck Club jumped on. There we go. Raw Fuck Club jumped on the offer, and we worked with him, and I shot that one. I shot Who's My Baby Daddy for Champ Robinson. So yeah, I've done a good amount of them. I did a whole movie called Ganged Up for Raw Fuck Club. Parker Allen, how are you, sir? Good to see you on YouTube. Love working with you too. So how did I choose the name IK Grande? I can't believe you asked that question. It's been a long time. No one's asked me that question. IK Grande. I just gotten. We're talking 2007 now. I was at, for all you New Yorkers, remember G Lounge? I forgot what they call it now. It changed its name to a different place, but it was in Chelsea. And I was hanging out there, and a couple of friends came with me, and I was trying to think of a porn name, because apparently I was going to need one to put my name on stuff. And I was trying to tell them that I wanted to do something in Spanish. And I was even thinking of a Brazilian name, which was Chupa Me Pau, which is suck my dick in Brazilian, or in Portuguese. But I didn't choose that one. And I just started going through iterations of like my middle name. My middle name is Enrique. And in Enrique is IK. And then IK Grande, just, we started spitting it around, and oh, how big, or oh, that's big. It's kind of cool. I like it. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It wasn't meant to be a name. At least when I started, it wasn't meant to be something that you would hear said out loud all the time, like a porn star's name. I was behind the scenes. But, nowadays you have to do a little bit of everything. K-Boy Sig, you seem to have a pent-up Scorsese in you. Yeah, you're right. I do other stuff on the side. I make documentaries, write, and all that fun stuff. And the one thing I will say is porn has been able to, or has afforded me the luxury of being able to fund projects that either I have or I'm interested in. So yeah, and I think that I'm trying to think of how to answer that question, but yes, you're absolutely right, K-Boy Zig. I am a pent up. I don't know if I'd say Scorsese. I think he's incredibly talented. I wouldn't be able to boast about myself like that, because my porn career was accidental, and like when I look back and I think of all of the videos and stuff that I've been a part of or I've done, it's kind of like, wow, that's pretty cool. And so many people can say that in the industry too, on so many different levels. Steven, I find you very handsome and sexy. Just saying. Thank you very much, Steven. I appreciate that. Victor, that was an awesome scene. The proposal, it really was. That scene, like quick trivia, was put together by Nick Moretti. And Nick Moretti, at the time that I went there, I used to work with Nick Moretti at Raw Fuck Club. By the time I got to shoot that scene, Nick Moretti was no longer with Raw Fuck Club, but he put the scene together. So I give him complete credit for that, for arranging the whole thing. I basically got there, I shot the scene, and it all happened. But he definitely put it together. Alonso Gutierrez, which porn star has the most beautiful eyes you've ever seen? Um, I have to get back to you on that. I know off the top of my head, Dayton O'Connor has beautiful eyes, intense eyes. Trying to think of who else. There's definitely I can get back to you on that. There's definitely a list of people. Keefus92, say someone's interested in potentially doing porn. What are the requirements or stipulations? I don't know if there's necessarily. I mean, the best requirements are, whether or not you're a topper. Okay, here's what I can tell you. If you're interested in doing porn, you go on a website of the porn that you kind of want to do. And by that I mean, is it Falcon? Is it Naked Sword? Or what studio you'd like? You go there, you find what their casting information is. You send them a picture. If you're a top, you send them a hard dick picture. You send them a face picture, and then you send them a full body picture. If you're a bottom, you send them an ass pic. Same thing, face pic, but an ass pic. So basically, send your assets. And then if they like you, they'll call you. That's basically the requirements. That's the best place to start. I've had so many situations where you get this guy who's like, I'm a full-on top, 9-inch cock. I can fuck for days and blah blah blah. And then the first picture you see is him on all fours with his ass up, and that kind of just strikes me as not really a top. So, if you want to be a porn star, know what you want to do, and send pictures in that kind of show that that's what you want to do. That's the best advice, like off the top of my head, that I can tell you. Nicholas Salazar, what is your ethnic background? My parents are Cuban and Peruvian. Randy Williams, what is your favorite orgy that you filmed? I'm pretty sure I made a list of the top 10 orgies that I had done. It'll come to me, and I'll get back to that. Stephen N., what your favorite mainstream movie, non-porn? I would have one in every genre, but off the top of my head, I can give you a couple. Amélie, a French film. Groundhog Day. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's various different number ones in various different genres. Alonzo, growing up, who were your favorites, and who do you think is the best porn star of all time? Growing up, who were my favorites? Alonzo, I watched a lot of straight porn, so I have a lot of straight porn stars that are my favorites. One of my favorites, or the first porn star that I saw, was Bellamy. Johan Pollack and Lucas Ridgestone, those guys were beautiful. Rafael Carreras was beautiful. Greatest porn star of all time. That's it's a very, very tall ask. Maybe I'll get back to you in 5 years with that question. My favorite color is blue. Love it. Ever concerned over porn actors' mental health? Absolutely. Absolutely. If that's a very good question. If there is ever anything that I'm most concerned about, is how the set is going to go, how how models are going to interact, but also how they're going to interact with me. And I think that by the time we get on set, a good amount will show you where they are mentally, and you'll kind of know where it's going to go. I've had very minimal situations where models came in and their mental health was misjudged, let's say. So Keefus, that's some good advice, honestly. I'm a top and I like to fuck, but I've never been in a studio or OnlyFans setting. I feel like a lot goes into it. A lot does go into it. A lot does. OnlyFans settings and just in like fan site settings are different. Even like a Rawfell Club, Treasure Island, Champ Robinson setting, like those studio settings are very different as well than what you're going to get. It really just depends on who you're working with and where you go. Do you see Louis 8 Mango? Do you see more of uncut or cut guys while filming? More cut guys, but I've seen a good amount of uncut guys as well, but mostly cut guys. Yeah. Nicholas, what if a bottom arrives at a scene wearing a cage or a top wearing a butt plug? Would that be a problem? Well, I mean, no, I don't see why not. I mean, if the bottom's wearing a cage, I guess the only problem that I would have at the current studio that I'm working with is it would probably be distracting. So it can go either way. It can be distracting, but that's the first thing that would come into my head. Is this going to distract viewers, or will certain viewers like this and they'll get off on it? And that's basically what we're looking to do. Stephen, what was the biggest disaster on set while you were filming? I'm sure there are bigger ones that I've probably I've had one of my bosses fall asleep from partying too hard the night before, and he happened to be sleeping in the hotel room that was technically going to be the set, and models are arriving in 15 minutes and there's no answer to the door and there's no getting him up. I'm quickly having to shuffle everything somewhere else. That's one of them. But I think, honestly, if you've seen LA Zombie, that film by Bruce LaBruce, I was behind the scenes on that. And that's something that I'm going to put up at one point too. I did a behind the scenes of that whole thing, and I was going to put it up last year or last October, but I didn't get a chance to, so I'll do it this October. Nice to see you too, Parker. I will talk to you. We'll keep in touch. Somebody dropped a thing of poppers on set, and it cracked, so there was nothing you can do about it. And it was literally just everybody holding on to something before they passed out. It was quite interesting. So that's probably one of the bigger disasters on set. We really haven't had, knock on wood, I really haven't had a lot of disasters on set. So part of that too is because my sets are very small. I kind of just have the models. I take care of lighting and I take care of audio myself. Damien, do you see a difference between East Coast and West Coast porn? East side and West side? Yes, there is a difference. There are studios like Lucas Entertainment that are doing similar stuff to West Coast stuff, and then there's studios like, I don't know if SX is still around, but they were doing stuff that's more like prosumer porn, I'll call it. So there's a big difference also in attitude too. I don't know, man. I did a lot of shoots in West Coast, and It's not, maybe it was the time that I was there, but a lot of the models were a pain in the ass and not showing up. And then uh, the people working at the studios weren't great. Like, I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm more of a, I get there, I'm going to get my shit done, and then I'm going to get out. And I found that wasn't the case a lot in the West Coast, but I could be generalizing. RV, what is your favorite Tim film or your favorite Tim film that you filmed? Crap, they have a lot of stuff. I've only shot 3 films for them. If you're talking about like a full-on video, like a full-on 90 minutes plus film, I think my favorite, honestly, was the first one that I did, which was Cedars. I tried to do a little more of a thematic thing with it. Didn't really work with Treasure Island's kind of approach. And I probably won't be making another one like that again. But I want to, that's why I said I want to do a lot of stuff on the side. That's basically just for me. So yeah. Oh, hello, Devin. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. If someone like Jeff Stryker, an old porn star, would you pursue them to do a scene for you, or do you think they should stay retired? You know what? I don't know. That would be more on them if they wanted to. I mean, there's definitely a market. I don't know how old Jeff Stryker is now. Jeff Stryker's probably what, 50, 60? I mean, there's a big daddy market. I would certainly consider it, but I would absolutely do a podcast or a video with them. I'm fascinated by what porn was in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s compared to what porn is now, or how they not even just from their perspective because of what they lived, but also my perspective from how I've seen it in the past 15 years. Stephen N., ever been thrown out of a hotel for filming? No, knock on wood. I have not. I always get worried that when I check in, if the hotel has one of those things where you need a key to get on the elevator, I constantly have to come down and get guys. And I always hope that it's during shift change, because that way the person that checked me in doesn't think I'm a big old whore bringing all these guys up. But yeah, I've never been thrown out of a hotel for filming. Mateo Papichulo, favorite type of music and artist? Damn, that is very broad. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I can tell you off the top of my head without sounding pretentious or focused on one thing. It goes everywhere, even country. Like, I have no problem with all kinds of music. Steven, who's the best deep throat you've filmed? We don't, well, I haven't really shot predominantly just suck scenes. I do them now because Treasure Island has Tim Suck. But other than that, I mean, I've seen people absolutely deep throat. I've seen people deep throat Esteban or Juve. I've seen people deep throat the biggest dicks in the industry. There was just real quick to interrupt, there was a question about a model. Who would I want to work with? I would want to work with, this is way back when, and I said, I'll get back to it. I can't remember who asked now, I'm sorry. But Cade Maddox, I worked with him once before. He did a scene with Rick York and I shot it. And one of my bosses had gotten a hold of my camera and he changed up all of my settings right before the shoot. And it was overblown and oversaturated. And I ended up fixing a lot of it in post, but that was a really, really hot scene. I would absolutely like to work with him again um, in a different setting. But I think it's an exclusive now for Falcon or something like that. But there you go. See, I do remember. I eventually remember. Best sleep throat, Steven, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that though. I'm not like I can't. I'm not concentrating correctly just on a deep throat. Is there anything you guys want to see? You guys that are on, anything you'd like to see on in videos and porn that we're missing? One of the biggest things that we constantly get criticism is, we're shooting a lot of these porn scenes and we're primarily going for the cum shots, but there is this troll, and I say that in the lightest sense of the word, but he is technically a troll. If a troll is somebody that goes online and comments on everything that you do and not very nicely, he's a troll, technically, correct? So there's this guy who's signed up for a whole bunch of different sites, and his comment is basically, the minute we have a cum shot, why are we not focused on the guy's face? Why are we not focused on the top's face? Why do you always have to go to the cum shot? But that's basically what we're supposed to do, is get the cum shot. That's what you want to see, right? So that's why I'm asking if there's anything that people want to see that we are missing. I'd be curious. Let's see. Getting back to favorite type of music and artist, Mateo, one of my favorite songs ever is Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. But that's just, that's a long list of a lot of them. Nicholas, special talents of performers that you think were amazing. Special talents in what regard? In porn or? I think it's always interesting when a guy can suck their own dick. That's definitely interesting. Leafus, I love that song. I use it for running too. We love cum shots, right? Everybody loves cum shots. I don't understand what this guy's thing is. I've been fooling around with a couple of ways to actually get the cum shot and get the guy's face, but I don't know. You don't really, when the guy's trying to get there, I don't say, hey, by the way, it would be really great if you jerked your head up and looked at me while you're coming. Like, I'd have to be very, very comfortable with the top that I'm talking to, or the top that's being directed in the scene. So, yeah. I'll take a couple more. It's 11:19. I'll stay on until 11:30. Dog Days. I know, a throwback classic, but it doesn't feel like that. It really doesn't. But yeah, it's 2010, I guess, at this point, right? It is a throwback. But yeah. So yeah, as I said, it's 11:20. I'll stay on until 11:30 if you guys have a couple more questions. If not, we'll call it a night, and I can get ready for tomorrow. Oh, and requests. Anybody that you want me to interview? Damien, anything in international porn you would like to see in American porn? In straight porn, I would like to see more attention on the guys, like women doing stuff to guys. I think that'd be really cool. In gay porn, I don't know. If you watch a lot of European porn, they have certain emphasis on certain things, but I think that's more on the person shooting. I think it's definitely a personality thing. Like, if the person behind the scenes wants to see this, you're going to see a lot of it, and that's just how it goes. I don't, you know, I really like legs. I think that when people focus on legs and stuff like that, or certain parts of the body that are moving while people are having sex, I think it's awesome. Sometimes what I like to do too, and I try to do it now in Tim while I'm there too, is I enjoy I enjoy when the bottom is really into it and you like they don't realize that you're looking at them. Uh, Watching their hands kind of like grip a pillow or grip the bed, because I think it's so telling of like how what emotions they're going through. I think that's very important. How a person moves their body, like not just the dick going in the ass, but just like everything. I think that's really, really cool. Um, Stephen Black, favorite foreign country you've shot a scene in? Rio, Brazil. That was fun. Very nice. But Berlin too, and Keefus. Have you ever interviewed Sexy Daddy Adam Russo? Twice. Twice. I interviewed him once in person for season 1, and I interviewed him again via Zoom on season 2. Go check them out. They're really, really good. Every time I talk to Adam Russo, it's always very interesting. The man's on another level when it comes to uh, life in general. Like, you know, he loves he just loves love and loves like he's really, really cool. I dig his energy so fucking much. Any opinions on Michael Lucas? You know, I want to have Michael Lucas on the show. When I was working out at Dark Alley, there was apparently a gag order, so I couldn't talk about that before. I can talk about it now because I didn't sign any kind of non-disclosure. So, yeah, I can talk about any of that stuff. One interesting thing that I do want to mention, I applied to work for Michael Lucas before I even thought about working in porn. And it was just like, oh, wow, cool. Let's see what's going on. And when I ended up getting a job at Dark Alley, I was at Splash, another callback, right? I was at Splash. This is like 2008, and Michael Lucas is downstairs, and I had had a couple of drinks already, and they had just had some kind of like gay entertainment event, and Michael Lucas was there, and I thought it would be a very, very good idea. Listen, if you missed the Keefus, if you missed the episodes, go on YouTube. They're on YouTube, and they're also on the podcast. Yeah, check them out. So Michael Lucas was hanging out by the bar, and I had had a couple of drinks, and I thought it was a very, very good, you know, that liquid courage. Walked right up to him, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And started talking to him. And I think after maybe 2 minutes, he probably knew that I was drunk. But basically, I went up to him and I asked him, you know, I told him that I applied to be his editor, and nobody ever got back to me, and now I'm working for a different company and blah, blah, blah. And he basically just threw a couple of drink cards at me and left like as soon as he could. So that was pretty fun. I've spoken to him before, and he's really cool. I've spoken to him about the podcast, and we had thought about, we were talking about doing it, but I think he's shooting in Mexico now. So when it comes to any opinions on Michael Lucas, I've only heard everything that everybody else has heard, but a personal opinion, I don't have one. Yeah, I don't have one yet. I've seen a lot of his porn. It's very nice. Ike Grande, are you a Golden Girls fan? I am a Golden Girls fan, but not as big as everybody else's. Like I like them. I think they're very funny and it's very well written, but not as big as I like. You know, for some reason, people think like people in my family too, like think that I'm a Golden Girls fan, and they'll give me T-shirts and stuff, and I just give them away because I'm not that person. But I do like the show. Okay, wait, there was a question over here. Okay, so Mr. Owl MV, if you weren't making porn, what do you think you would have done as a career? Well, I mean, porn is my everybody has hobbies and stuff, right? So porn is my day job, believe it or not. Porn is the part of my life that I would consider, and I don't say this in a bad way, but that I always considered boring because I just wanted to get through that in order to fund what I like to do. I make, like I said, I make documentaries, I make short films and stuff like that, and well received. Um, but nothing crazy, nothing too big, um, that I can change my career and stuff. And I'm at the point right now where I don't know. I enjoy both. To the point where doing the podcast and doing a lot of the videos that I'm doing are kind of like both careers intersecting. Um, if I wasn't doing anything in film and video, I would love to be a paranormal psychologist, but I don't think that pays well. So, so I'll probably just stick to this. Let's see, Devin. I would like to see more Latinos and Asians on the show. It would be nice to hear from them and their experiences in porn. Yeah, no, I do have a couple of Latinos, um, and Asians. I just had Levy Fox. I trying to make it as diverse as possible, and there are shows that I have already recorded, but I kind of want to spread them out so that way we get different voices, um, kind of giving you their experiences at the same time. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you, Devin, soon. We talked about it. Um, how does okay, Stephen N. How does Hunger FF do that? And by that, I'm assuming you mean um, getting fisted. How does he do that? I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Uh, it's his talent. He's really good at it. I I'm just as mystified as you are by how he is able to get that much arm inside of him. But he does it, and he does it well, and he's very, very popular. I'm actually working on a project with him, um, that we're shooting in the beginning of May, for kind of like the podcast, but the YouTube channel. So that'll be very interesting. Um, let's see what's going on over here. Oh wait, yes, and somebody said something about Nate Grimes before, and I didn't catch that. I guess I can scroll up and just see, but Nate Grimes too. You can take a pretty. Yeah, no, Nate Grimes is great. I have not seen him. I think I saw him get fisted, just very, very minimal, but he's a great top. He's a great bottom. Nice guy, beautiful. Um, but yeah, he can he can basically take a whole arm. Like, it's fucking crazy. Um, Keefus, I would like that as well, because people of color in porn aren't as predominant as our white brothers. You're absolutely right. Um, if you look at my entire roster of people that I've interviewed, there is a little bit of everything in there. I love a little bit of everything. Asian models are much harder to come by, and when I spoke to Levy, one of the things that we spoke about was, I don't think it's necessarily a thing where studios are neglecting to show them off. It's just more, um, people of Asian descent, I think, don't really get into porn a lot as much as white, black, Latin guys. Just like South Asian, you don't see a lot of Indian porn stars. You don't, so it's harder. And in the podcast with Levy, one of the things that I mentioned was, that in 14 years, I've probably worked with 9 to 10 Asian porn stars. I got you, Keith. All right. It is 11:30. You guys have been awesome. I absolutely appreciate it. Instagram, I'm working on getting you guys to hear the audio with the quality that the guys on YouTube are listening to. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing this every single month, the first Monday of every month. So in May, get your questions ready if you're here. I enjoy, I got a couple people here, getting my Twitch set up. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, let's see what we can do. And like I said, you guys can always email me if you have any other questions that you didn't think of or anything, or that you would like to ask. I'm readily available on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, and email. So yeah, thank you. The analytics and stuff like that. So I appreciate it. And yeah, what's going on this week? Joel Someone's coming on this week. Joel Someone gave me another interview. He's going to be on Friday. He is hysterical, crazy, fun, a little bit of everything. So I think you guys will absolutely enjoy it. And I have a couple of shoots coming up next week. So yeah, let me know if there's anything you want to see. All right. Again, cheers. Love you guys. I absolutely appreciate all you guys for listening to me and and for all your questions. So yeah. All right. Here we go. Have a good rest of the week and a good rest of the month. Cheers.